Alright guys, today we are in a 2005 WL Caprice. This is the VZ equivalent Caprice. This one has the very last of the 5.7 litre V8s, and it's really cool because it has quite a few optional extras which I'll go through later in the video. But this thing just screams luxury. It's completely standard, it's very, very comfortable, and we are very lucky in Australia that we got these cars, because I mean, I would much prefer this than the equivalent Mercedes or BMW, because these are way more reliable, and frankly they're just as comfortable. They really are a nice car to drive, and more importantly they're a nice car to sit in the boot. Anyway, we will just go for a drive here now. Just if you guys haven't been in one of these, or if you haven't driven one, you are missing out a little bit. I really do think that having the V8 though is part of the Statesman Caprice. It's part of the experience, not just in the VY, VZ, but also in any of the others, the VR, VS, WN, WM, even the Kingswood ones. Just because having the V8, it really, even though this car isn't about going 0 to 100, and it's not about, you know, being an idiot in the car, but having that 250 kilowatts when you need it is really important. And you know, you might have a full car load, or a lot of the time these cars were turned into limousines, and you definitely need that. And these cars, while they're not particularly rare back in the day, they are becoming increasingly rare now, because a lot of these cars, the V6s, they're going to be, if anything goes wrong with them, they're probably going to be parted out, because a lot of these parts are desirable for the normal Commodores. And the V8 ones, similar story if they're a bit rough, if they've been used as a daily driver. So a nice clean one like this is actually not as common as you might think, and because of that they do command quite a price premium. And yeah, just a really, really cool thing. I'll show you guys later in the video, but this one has a lot of optional extras, like the GPS just down there. It has screens in the back, so if you were driving around with like little kids in the back, or if you're driving around as a company, you could have a customer sitting in the back watching a movie, and that's really, really cool. And I'll show you properly that on the overview video that I do of this car. But in terms of driving it, it's very nice to drive. I don't know the best way to explain it, but it's got really everything that you would need from any daily driver. It's cruise control, air conditioning, cup holder, which is just over there, and it really does have everything that any normal person would need from a daily driver, and nothing more. I mean, it's almost peak daily driver in my opinion, because this running gear is very, very reliable. And I mean, the LS1, everyone knows about that engine. I don't need to harp on about it. It's a very reliable car, and it doesn't have anything that you don't need. And one thing that's really cool actually is it does have parking sensors. It's got a CD stacker, so you can have select through your CDs. It's really cool. I really like these cars, and since I started this channel, I've really grown an appreciation for the Statesman Caprices, because man, they are so nice to drive as a daily, as a luxury lazy car. You know, you can just, this car is just built for driving long distance, and it feels shockingly different than like a VY or VZ SS, despite being, you know, on the face of it quite a similar car, but it just feels really different. And this car doesn't, it's hard to explain if you're not into cars, but it doesn't want to be driven hard, this car, and you don't need to. That's not what it's about. And it's about being lazy and enjoying the drive. And I really, really like this car. Like the WH I had on a couple of weeks ago, this drives really, really similar. Obviously it's the same body, but this one has a little bit more power, another 30 odd kilowatts. But again, really cool piece of history. I mean, this was a very expensive car back in the day. I'll put the price up on the screen now. I can't quite remember it off the top of my head. So there was two levels of this car, the Statesman or Caprice, and there's actually a WH Statesman that just drove past. But yeah, there was two levels of this, the Statesman and Caprice, and this is the Caprice, so the big dog, the top of the line one. And this one, being a Holden by design, has a few optional extras. So That's pretty much all we'll do for the driving bit, because the most interesting part of this car is sort of in the back seat, and I really want to share that with you guys. I've done a proper showcase of, you know, how the DVD stuff all works in my overview video, but I'll just pull over in a sec, guys. I'll just give you a quick rundown of how it all works and how much room is back there and stuff, because it's quite luxurious. So yeah, we'll pull over in a second and have a look. All right guys, so we have just parked up, and I just wanted to show you the outside of this thing. I mean, just have a look at it. It is a really well balanced car. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I love the front end. I love the black headlights, which are on the Caprice. The wheels really suited. They're the original 17s. All the chrome's in really good nick. I really like this color as well, and as I mentioned before, the boot is absolutely enormous. Really cool. And I really wanted to show you the back seat in here, and as you can see, not only is there a massive amount of room, but there are screens in the headrests in both of them, and there is controls up here to control the volume, which if you're watching a movie, it'll go through the speakers, or there is a plug for the headphones just down here. Now, I will actually, in my overview video of this, I have included a video of this actually in action, but you know, it's a whole proper DVD player. And again, this was 20 years ago. This was the go. And you can also pull this down and have a look at the GoPro, and it's a really very premium place to be. And I love, there's also a little armrest here, and this guy folds down as well, and you can sit. I mean, it's so comfortable. In the front seat is a little bit special as well. There are a few things like this Holden Assist little mirror here. So back then you could press this Holden button, it would turn on. You could call Holden roadside assistance by pressing that button, or you could call emergency services by pressing that. There is a sunroof here, which I can open and close just like that, or just have it on tilt. And there is a GPS down here as well, which is pretty cool. So there is a little remote here. Doesn't work anymore because this car has aged. And we can also open our little cup holder like that, which is a little thing from Saab and GM's collaboration in the early 2000s. But again, this car is really premium, and it feels phenomenal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have really enjoyed having my time with this car, and I really wanted to, you know, share with you guys what this was like, because this was a very expensive car back in its day, and it was the peak of Holden's luxury. And it really is a very well balanced car. Everything, it drives so nice and smooth. It has every feature that you could possibly want as a daily driver, and I really think that these, even today, make a fantastic daily. I really appreciate you guys for watching, and if you guys would like your car on the channel, I will be doing an overview of this car, then please get in touch, or otherwise, thank you for following along. If these are your kind of cars, please follow along, subscribe, and thank you for watching.